All right, ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. And we're down 2%. Bring the holidays back. So there's the overnight session. Really didn't take much. Happy New Year, guys. It really didn't take much to bring the market down 2% here. Not even quite sure what caused it. There we go. All right, so there's the market. Going to open it a little bit. Down a bunch. Again, we see this 10-period moving average acting as resistance. We'll see how that pans out. Tesla down 8. Yeah, lovely there, huh? Bear market still in effect. 8 doesn't even make the list of my top losing stocks. CRISPR down 9. We've seen that on here before. Netgear down 37%. You guys should have bought more routers. We got Pranatech up 70%. Not really familiar with any of these names on the top gaining stocks list. Of course, why wouldn't it be a server error? Vitamin Shop down 11. So, yeah, definitely still under pressure. Definitely still under pressure. So we'll see if this turns around. Was there any news today? I saw it a little on my phone, but I didn't really look at it. What's investors.com say? China tariffs bite, Tesla unravels, on deliveries miss. Let's go check this out. Yeah, welcome to 2019, guys. Down 2%. Okay, manufacturing data. Board of Security briefing, trade talks set to begin in Beijing. Democrats take control of the House. Netflix led early declines. Tesla fell even harder after reporting fourth quarter deliveries below targets and a $2,000 price cut. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. IBD 50, Intel, and PayPal were the leading decliners. Trade talks face deadline. New orders received fell for the first time in 30 months. A renewed deterioration overall operating conditions. Talks take place under an extension through March 2nd, after which U.S. tariffs on 200 billion China-made imports to the U.S. will be raised to 25%. So this is probably what we're dealing with here today. Tesla misses estimates with 90,000 deliveries delivered in the fourth quarter. and one at 92,000. That's stupid. Get over yourselves, analysts. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love it when they really micromanage things like that. It's like, oh, like what's the price difference there? Like seriously. Or what's the percentage difference? People that do not work in Tesla, yes, they're supposed to have like a so they meant 98.5% of what they were supposed to do, and they get hit 7%. If we were not in a bear market, I would just say buy Tesla. I still may say just buy Tesla, but I don't know. We'll see. Looks like the market's going to open if it didn't already. Looks like the market did open, and I have 5 green stocks. But that's hilarious to me. And pretty much with anything. Now the $2,000 price cut, that I could see not being not being put into people's numbers. That's $1.8 billion in quarterly revenue. That's about $7.25 billion. I don't think they had to cut their price at all. I think that's a dumb move. That's just Elon being a nice guy right there. I don't think he needed to do that. That actually could set the stock back a little bit. But this to me doesn't mean a whole lot. This just shows me the analysts are stupid. Which they've proven time and time again. So still a news-driven market, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. Okay. Starting out with a buying candle. That's good. That's good. These overnight sessions generally don't mean a heck of a lot. It's always scary in a bear market, but these generally don't mean a heck of a lot. INSG flat. That's basically up 10% in this kind of a market. It's basically up 10%. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay like it's up 10%, but yeah, INSG the other day moving out of this triangle, working fairly well. So hopefully this will maintain. Still haven't broken this high. Kind of knew that would take a little bit of work to occur, but you got the NASDAQ down here. Remember I said, we got quite a bit of range to move around here. And with the holidays coming in, today should be day one of full force trading. And hopefully we get that. That would be nice. Full force trading. So about halfway through this 5-minute candle, volume already elevated past holiday levels. So that's good. So 10-day still acting as resistance here. What's the 10-day at? 62.57. So we got to get a little above this line right there. We need to stay above that 10-day. I would really like that. When QE? Yeah, good question, Vanek. Good question. According to the Fed, they're not, they haven't said specifically that I've read that they're not doing QE anymore, but they've been reducing their inventory. So that means no more QE. 10 years of quantitative easing, ladies and gentlemen. And I guess you wonder why we're getting a bear market. All right, back in the top range of that green bar. That's good. What up, Vanek? Happy New Year, buddy. Merry Christmas. I don't think I saw you around the holiday time, so happy holidays if you don't do Christmas. If you do Christmas, Merry Christmas. TZA, MMNFF. All right, so what's dying on my list here today? Let's go to the bottom and see what's dying. BITA and Tesla. Beta was kind of holding up pretty good. Looks like that party may be over at this particular point in time. And there's Tesla down 8%. So I wonder if someone actually knew a little bit about what was going on with the earnings, and they're going to miss by, or actually they probably knew about the price cut. I could see that leaking sooner. That's what that's about. All but guarantee that. They knew about that price cut. Analysts always know, or Wall Street people always know before us, so price action leads, guys. And there you go, price cuts down to 300 again. Yeah, I'm not really happy about the price cut, I gotta say. I'm not enthusiastic about it. Yeah, I don't mind anything Elon says. I don't mind any of that stuff, but you start arbitrarily cutting prices by $2,000, that's going to do things. I don't think he needs to adjust for the federal tax credit reduction. People don't buy his cars for the federal tax credit reduction. I don't know, Vanek. I usually don't stay up with that economic announcement calendar very much. I just kind of see what I let IBD kind of tell me some of the big news. I don't really dig down that deep. The base rate in the UK at 0.75%. I don't see it going up with the whole Brexit thing around the corner. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know much about the situation in the UK, to be quite honest with you. But if your base rate's 0.75%, that's I'm going to say worse than us in the US at 2.5%. A lot of transactions up here, not a lot of movement. We'll see how this goes. That'd be cool if this turned itself all the way around. That'd be another good day. And we would be apt for a follow-through day, but we'd have to get positive, and that's a 2% trek up to the top. And probably a little bit past 2%. You'd have to be like 2.5%. Your mortgage rate's 1.2%? Justin, go buy a bigger house. Actually, mine's not too bad at 3.375. Yeah, I got into a pretty good time too. Absolutely. I think rates still aren't bad in the US, about 4%, but yeah, 1.2 is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I'm going to go to London just to buy a house. But that's why they have these low interest rates, is to stir economic activity. Unfortunately, it's kind of like having an economy is almost like raising a child. It throws fits for no apparent reason. It likes it when you give it free candy, and it doesn't like it when you tell it the playground's closed. So right now it's basically been free candy session, and your kid's about 400 pounds for a 10-year-old. And we're trying to tell them the candy store's closed. It's kind of like what's going on. Not exactly, but kind of. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, 1.2% is insanely low. I had a very, very well-off person. I'm trying to remember who it was. And we were talking about financial stuff. And he said the best thing you can do right now is get a mortgage, because 5 years from now the bank's going to come back and offer to buy it back from you because the rate is so low. And I thought that was weird. I've never, ever heard of that in my life. I'm not sure if any of you had either, but this guy had no reason. I mean, he wasn't selling me anything. He was a customer. He was a customer, actually. This was back when I was doing audio video full time. He said the best thing you do is, I think it was a bank guy. I thought it was weird, but the rates were super low. They're still low now, but they were much lower then. I guess they were under the assumption the Fed was going to raise rates faster than it had. And he said that they'd buy my mortgage. They would actually offer to pay me cash for my mortgage. And I thought that was just so weird. I thought that was so weird. Essentially, like, because my mortgage was 150,000, and maybe 3.375. So maybe they would pay me, I don't know, 20, 30,000 for them to hold the note on my house for 5% or so. I don't know what it was, but it was weird. But the dude was like worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Not even a joke. Not even a joke. This guy was legit. I know because I worked in his house. I've seen every crevice of these people's houses, and yeah, I thought it was really interesting. Something like that, Fennec, something like that, but I couldn't really take on a second mortgage. But I already had my mortgage when he told me this. Thinking about it, I think it was a billionaire. Yeah, I think it was that guy. He's not a banker though. He's an investor guy. Maybe he doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway, you mentioned interest rates and mortgages, and just kind of jogged that part in my memory. I thought it was weird. All right, Tesla down 10% now. We got the market pulling back a little bit. We'll see what happens. Market's been very crazy as of late, which is not good. You don't want a crazy market. These days are not helpful. These days are a little more helpful. These days aren't bad. You don't mind you don't mind two larger trends like that, but you don't want to have too many whipsaw days. There's another kind of a whipsaw day. Don't like those days. So we'll see what today has in store. So far, we're up from the open about 0.5% in a relatively quick period of time. So that'll be so far. Market's doing okay. I don't really mind the future selling off, to be honest with you. And I also don't quite understand the impetus for them to gap it lower like this. Like if you look at the Qs, there's going to be a gap. We've talked about this. So see, there's a big gap down. Why would you gap it down in a bear market? If you want to sell, why would you sell less of a position lower? I guess just to get a first mover advantage. That's the only thing I can think about, is unless it's market makers doing that. Their order books are smaller there. But anyway, usually gap down will get filled, gap up. Usually gaps will get filled. All right, let's go through some of my leading stocks here. Let's see what I got. So I do have Tesla on here. CDNA is not one of mine. Goose is still one of mine, but it even having a decent reaction, not really. Look at that volume and not really moving that much, actually selling off. So I'll keep Goose up there, but I kind of want to remove it. Just don't want to lose sight of it. AMRN still moving lower. We did talk a little the other day about Tilray and a potential short. Let's see how that could be doing. Is that broken down yet? It's sitting on the line. Looks like the other day it moved down towards the line. Today it's below the line. Could be a shorting opportunity if you didn't already take it when we talked about it the other day. AMED, Twitter down here down 2%. Still way down in the dumps after that Citron report. So way down there. Atlassian 1.24%. We talked about them potentially breaking out. Why do they gap? Wow, they gapped a lot lower. Look at that. That's a big. They're working the way back up. So that's healthy. That's a leading stock in this market. I don't believe Tilray's a buy at 40. Tilray's a buy when it's going back up. You don't buy stocks or any asset at specific price levels. You buy when there's a clear expectation of a return. INSG, negative 1.3%. It was flat a little earlier when we were looking at it. The volume is not really offensive. Eli Lilly, holding up tremendously during the bear market. In fact, in the same base it was since before the bear market. So pretty phenomenal for Eli Lilly. No one is selling this stock. Like they're just holding on to that thing. I think VMW fills out my list. There we go. So VMW doing pretty good on my weekly chart here. It's holding up against that. That should be the 40. Let me double check that is indeed the 40. Okay, it is the 40, so that's akin to the 200 period moving average. This is akin to the 50-day moving average. So holding up well above both of those, very positive. You see VMware about to reach the high of yesterday. We're about flat on VMware. Let's see if that trend continues. We just overtook the highs of the day over here on the NASDAQ. A couple more green stocks on my screen here. INS at the top. We've been talking about INS as well. Another cup with handle. Very nice uptrend here. Look at that. Bear market resets the base count. So if this thing does indeed go, now we are at a stage in the market down here, obviously, where we could get a follow-through day. We just had the holidays, and it should be pretty easy. We just got to have a positive day. So, we can do that. We're already up about 0.75%, actually over 0.75% from the open. So if we just keep rallying all day today, we could close over these highs here. That could potentially put us in follow-through day territory. Now, a lot of leading stocks don't look like they want a follow-through day, but they don't have to necessarily participate in the fashion that we want. The indexes lead follow-through days typically, but generally, what you'll see out of a healthy bull market is a number of leaders moving first. They will actually lead the index, and so we don't have a lot of that. We just saw a team, which is Atlassian, doing pretty good, but one or two stocks is a very weak bull market, and we don't have that market breadth that would be healthy for a buy at this stage. I think we're going to have to wait for China FUD to get over with, and I guess see what the Fed has in store and let the market fully digest that before we can get back to healthy trends. Well, it's funny because the economy is still doing fine. Let me look at my window here real quick. Hold on. Yeah, world's still there. Okay. The stop sign in front of my house is there. And the other houses are there too. I don't see the streets burning, so we're okay. We're okay. Don't be too scared by your computer screen. Sometimes look at that other screen called a window occasionally. In this situation, which is really interesting, a bear market kind of coming from not literally nowhere, especially when the economy is doing good, which our economy is doing good in the U.S. It's not a bad economy. This is not an economy bear market. I guess this would be I think it's due to mostly to the trade war. I think that's what it's due to, but I mean, there's some profit taking. It could just be like a culmination of different things leading to the sell-off. You've got the fact that we haven't really had a bear market in 10 years. Okay, so statistically, it's just going to happen at some point, and you got breaching highs again. So we've almost taken half of that 2% down now. Haven't had a bear market in over 10 years. Every morning, the same time, that cat walks by my window. Haven't had a bear market in 10 years. The Fed is finally, slowly raising rates, and I think probably some companies are starting to feel a little bit, but like just very early starting to feel it. When you think of the interest rate environment we've been in, like Justin saying, his mortgage rate's 1.2%, that doesn't even affect your pocketbook. When you start seeing 3, 4, 5, 6% interest rates, which we've already seen 3s, now we're into 4s, going into 5s. Now I think that the modeling people are starting to see potential normalized interest rates and put that into their equations, and it probably doesn't look very good to them, which could be part of the reason why we're seeing this. And then we also have the China tariffs, which are kind of something that I won't say new. I guess they've been around for a little bit now, not necessarily new, but definitely a larger concern because it's a question mark. And that doesn't necessarily fit into their models. And if they plug that in their models, it's probably not, it probably slows the growth rate, is probably what it does. So that's probably what's happening, in my opinion. Cats establish routes that they patrol regularly. Really? Interesting. How can I eliminate that? Because that little black bastard cat, I think he's... Thanks, Paul. That's cool. Where is he now? And he's gone. I actually didn't know that, Paul. It makes sense, though. They typically have territory, and you kind of want to peruse your territory. All right, a lot more green on my screen, so that's healthy. And several up 1%. That's pretty good. Sometimes when I look at my screen here, I'll see these in the top only up very small amounts. Get a dog. Yeah, I don't want to throw my dog out front. That would be mean to the dog. So yeah, being bought up really nicely here today so far. Good volumes. Let's zoom out here a little bit. Let me do this. Let me take off extended session for a moment. I can't do anything with that screen there. And I want to see how our volume here correlates to prior opens. Pretty good, pretty normalized, not bad. Not great, but not bad. So there's our bottom about a week ago. Look at that huge drop lower, then a gap higher. See, this makes more sense when you think of it. If they want to buy the market, this makes more sense. You sell it off one day, you buy it up on the overnight, so you get that first mover advantage. And you buy some more, you let it come back down, you buy it again, then you have a series of higher lows. But one little line here does not make a trend. Yeah, I still generally like Tesla. I'm not so sure about that price cut personally. That's a new development. I don't know how it's going to be absorbed by the market. I think the market will react positively, not the stock market, but the consumer market, excuse me. I think they will react a little positively. I'm not sure how it's going to affect their margins. Let me Google it. Tesla price cut. And see, I'm not sure what percentage of Tesla's profit that comes out of, like how much that is. Okay, Tesla announced to cut the prices on all models by $2,000. The fourth quarter marked an end to the $7,500 tax credit that Tesla was able to use to lure buyers in the past. To lure buyers. Wow, you don't have a bias there? CNBC was cut in half to $3,750. Dawn with a bias against Tesla, apparently. I've never seen Tesla once use this tax credit to lure buyers. Never once. But actually, yeah, so they're cutting it in half. So they're giving them back half of that tax credit. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. And as the price cut, Wednesdays it released productivity and delivery results. There's the cat again. Disappointing investors such as south of pre-market trading. Some bearish investors are likely interpreting it as a move to stimulate demand. All right, Big D. Well, I got a question for you then, buddy. So Big D says, Tesla not currently profitable. I would definitely not buy Tesla stock as a long-term investment right now. Tesla actually is profitable as of the previous quarter, so I don't believe that is correct. At the same time, you have a very high growth company that invests a lot in research and development. which is what very high growth companies tend to do. And it's kind of like Amazon in that way. Amazon really did not post a profit, but it was never losing money. It was, Amazon never really lost money. Tesla, was losing money for a while. It did have to borrow a lot. Now it's making money back, so it'll probably be. Tesla has a history of repaying its loan, so I'm assuming it will repay back that debt, and then it'll just be cash flowing its operations from that stage of the game. So if Tesla is not profitable and the stock price is very elevated, what do you think the stock price is going to be when it does? Wall Street's not going to wait for it to get profitable before they buy. So as an investor, you're pretty much worried about what Wall Street does, and Wall Street will actually buy the growth, and they've been buying the growth. I mean, here's Tesla down at $20. It's at $340. It's had massive moves while not being profitable. So, I mean, here's Tesla not being profitable. Tesla was profitable as of basically right here, this low at about 250. That's when they announced their profitable quarter. And in my opinion, I just, if you look at the company and what they've been able to do, I think this is one of the few that is prime for a long-term investment. In my opinion, absolutely. So, if you want to elaborate on Tesla's not currently profitable, maybe I'm missing something. So, maybe I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. Okay. There's a move that was written in the realm of possibility, but it caught investors off guard. Yeah, maybe. I'm not an analyst for Tesla. I wasn't thinking about them cutting prices to negate the tax credit. They have enough demand to kind of eat a little bit of price increase, and this $7,500 tax credit. I mean, that's pretty big. That's a pretty big move. So maybe it's smart of Elon to cut the price by 2,000. I'm not sure what they're. Go back to FinViz and look up gross profit margin real quick, and then we can kind of extrapolate out these numbers. So we got 17.3%, not a super wide margin. That's the most recent numbers too. So that's not really wide. So if you take 50,000 and multiply it by 173, so they're taking like nearly 25% of their profit out. I wonder if they're really expecting that much of a order decline due to maybe they've got the business, they've got the numbers. Maybe they're seeing a decline in orders that isn't hitting us yet. It's possible. You can't discount that. So I am a bit of a Tesla fanboy, but I do have to admit that the numbers don't lie. 17.3. Last time I looked at that, their gross margin was higher. I'm not sure what the difference is there, but so if you look at a Model 3 with an average price of actually I think it's like 60,000. Well, let's see if we can get better numbers on this. Just more curiosity than anything. Average Tesla sales price? Sale price? Whoops. 50. Okay, so 6. Okay, that's the average Model 3. What about the Model S? That's probably about 100,000. Okay, so we got. See, that's too much math for me to do right now in a live video. Let's do this. Average price of Model S. So, 95,000. That's a base price. Okay, so let's say 95,000, and I believe Tesla sales by product. Let's see here. Oh, maybe you're talking about an annualized basis, Big D. Maybe that's what you're referring to. You may be referring to annualized basis. In that case, that should be correct. But they had their first profitable quarter. Well, second profitable quarter, but the first one was kind of a thing. Um, okay, so let's say about 30,000 quarterly. So 120. So let's say about a quarter. Yeah, so yeah, give or take about 25%. So that I'm not so cool with, to be honest with you. I'm not super happy about that part, but it is what it is. But is Tesla a buy at 300? I really don't like that price cut. I got it just to be honest with you guys. I really don't like it. But yeah, I think in time Tesla's going to be an excellent investment. So if you guys have a long-term holding position, I don't really advocate long-term holding in a majority of names, but I think Tesla is one of them you can expect a return on over time. All right, lots more green on my screen right now. We got Emmys leading the pack at this stage of the game. A couple of small MJ names. TZA still at 3.35%. Looks like we just rolled over a little mini top here. Oh, the wife's still here. Just kind of rolled over there a little bit. There we go. All right, so just put in a small top right there. And we'll see how the market reacts on this leg. INSG up a little bit. INS up. What else do we have? Cron up here, 1.35%. That's nice. MJ up a little bit. We don't see Tilray up here. Facebook is up slightly, although not looking like any turnaround story at this stage of the game. Look at that big gap down. Never really filled it much at all. We haven't talked a tremendous amount about Facebook in a long time. And it looks like, yeah, we looked at it here, it appears, with this trend line. And then we broke on elevated volume. So far looking like a much better short than a long. Obviously doesn't bode well for the market. Facebook's, I think, the fourth biggest company at this stage of the game. So many advertising dollars, man. So we're in the market for a follow-through day at this stage of the game. We have our 1, 2, 3. We're on day 5 right now. I think days 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're on day 5 right now in terms of looking for a follow-through day. Even if we get one, there's not a lot of market leaders taking us higher, really showing any kind of strength. Usually in the beginnings of a healthy bull market, you would see more charts like Team. We only have a couple of pretty good patterns in the market. I mean, really a handful that I can think of off the top of my head. And and they're not really leading stocks. Like Team is a good stock, but it's not a true market leader. I mean, it is a market leader, but it's not. I don't know if it can really lead the rally. So let's check out its. All right, come on, choppy screen. Yeah, 20 billion market cap. So it's a pretty small stock. I don't know if this is capable of shouldering a market rally. Eli Lilly, however, could. It doesn't quite look like it wants to rally, but I think Eli Lilly could be a leader. It's a very large company. I think it's 100+ billion. I'm looking it up in terms of market cap. 123 billion. So that's big enough to shoulder some of the market on it. Oh, there you go. Nice little rally on this candle. I think Eli Lilly could shoulder a portion of that. But it really usually takes a couple of really good names and usually a good sector or two to really move us higher. But I think that all that China FUD is going to be holding us down. That's my opinion on that matter. Let's check out the EIBD, which I put out over the weekend. I don't look at enough. That's a pretty fun graphic there. Boom, 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 boom. That's awesome. Will Trump's trade war and the Fed derail equities before they get back on track? Possibly. Possibly right there. So let's get to the IBD 50. This is IBD's computer-generated list of the 50 leading stocks by fundamental and technical indicators. You've got a team up here, number 2, Cyber, TTD. A team with an accumulation distribution of a B, which is pretty good. 99 relative strength. Oh, it's composite rating. Relative strength rating is 98. They're also up here. So we got Fox, Vive, Now, TTD, Fortinet, Alarm.com. Look at that weekly. Couple of nice peak weekly closes. Accumulation distribution E. So really you can see the very lack of buying in a lot of these stocks. ServiceNow doing okay. MEP doing okay. Wide and loose. We don't like wide and loose. FTNT. Let's look at that one. Oh, look at that. We broke positive. Awesome. That's good. Look at Fortnite. Look at that, guys. This starts the right side of base. Absolutely could start the right side of a base here. Nice big drawdown. Look at the volume. You had one very large sell day, but that's about it. Looks like you have another day here on earnings, so that's kind of expected a little bit, but no running down. Very, very nice price action. If the market's starting to bottom here, yeah, I hate saying that because some people are going to take that and run with it, but excuse me. So yeah, you're looking at Fortnite potentially being a candidate going forward. Let's add this one to the list. I don't have some of these on my list. If I put every stock that was ever on the IBD 50 on my list, this list would just be unmanageable. Absolutely unmanageable. So let's go through their list here. They've got Cyber, CYBR? Yeah, so CyberArk. They've got Team. They've got TTD, which is Trade Desk. Vive Systems. Fox Factory. ServiceNow, which is still kind of, that weird choppy action really messes with me. I like these candles this morning, guys. These are nice little 5-minute candles, and it's not really stopping. We haven't had any kind of downtrend. I said, let's see how we handle this little downtrend, and it didn't even do a downtrend. It just reversed it and went higher. They've been picking at this all morning. We haven't really seen any bearishness. None of these candles are bearish. None of these candles. So that's healthy. You could maybe take a little bit of a position in longer term index funds, things of that nature, those longer term holds. I don't know about no individual names really look extremely well set up, but the index looks pretty good. Da 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 da. Okay, sorry, getting sidetracked here. Where is my... There it is. Okay. So ServiceNow, Fortinet. I kind of like this Fortinet chart. So this Fortinet chart is actually interesting. So here's the 200-day moving average. It came down to the 200-day. Right now it's kind of chilling around the 200-day, but it hasn't truly broken down. We have a double bottom down here. Not sure if it really shows on the weekly. It looks like it's a little bit undercutting. So that would be a technical double bottom. This would be your breakout point at 77.50. Look at that. Nice rally. That's a good move right there. Hopefully we can get that to, hopefully that can continue. That's a nice move. So on the daily chart, look at these closes, guys. Look at these closes all in the same range. That is showing support. I just noticed that right now as this candle gets up here. So this was bought up. No real major test of the lows. You know, there's at some point we'll probably dip lower and maybe come back. I mean, but that's the best case scenario right now. This is what you would like to see. We talked about this what we need to see today, at least for a follow-through day. This is to close up like 0.5%, and it's within the range of possibility at this stage of the game. Of course, we did just close the half hour, and we actually rallied on that close of the half hour. They tried to fake us lower, and it reversed us higher. So, from very small-term trading perspectives, it's pretty healthy. But you know, this does not make a bull market. I just really like the way that it's behaving this morning. That's pretty healthy. And look at the volume, pretty decent volume. There's the average volume. So we're a half hour into the trading day with about almost a third of the volume for the day. So about maybe a quarter of the volume. No, over a quarter of the volume. Yeah, so a little over a third volume for the day in the first half hour. That's not bad. Hopefully we can continue with that. But again, like I said, we're not seeing too many market leaders in terms of a follow-through day at this stage of the game. Let's keep going with this list. Fortinet, Alarm. Alarm.com. Doing okay. I think a lot of these stocks just need to calm down. KL, which is a gold company. I've never seen a gold company up this high in the IBD 50 in my life. Not saying it's not the first time it's happened. I just don't remember it. But yeah, actually, this was a breakout. Come on. So here's a breakout. Here's a base breakout right here from 23. It's at 26. Basically $24. This is at 26 and a quarter right now. MPW. Paycom. Wingstop. Wingstop holding up pretty well. I think we read an article on this the other day. PLNT. I got to get going, guys. It's 8:15. ILMN. What's up, Eli? Well, it's going to stop bleeding when you start buying everything. I mean, you've got to put in the market bottom, Eli. It's up to you. Eli, you're our only hope. Inva 5. Happy New Year, buddy. Absolutely. Happy New Year. UBNT's on this list, still a little bit lower. And it's no major bottoming volume on any of these. HZNP, Match. So Match is still on here. Actually, Match came down, looks like to about around just above $30, which is a prior low point. Some nice volumes on the right side here. That's not bad. EEFT, really down in the dumps. GDOT. GDOT's not looking horrible. Lots of volume right there. Not a lot of price movement. ABMD. Call your boys from Berkshire. Yeah, dude, they're loving this right now. I think Warren Buffett's had a chubby for the past month. ABMD, ATHM. CDNS. That's not bad. AGNO, AVGO, excuse me. We actually have an alert on AVGO here. Lululemon. That's quite a bit of volume right there on that little sell-off. Not bad though. Yeah, it's not too bad. Didn't really move lower on that elevated volume. Actually, looks like a little bit of supportive action. So anyway, guys, I gotta run. I gotta get ready for my newsletter. Talk to my kids, make sure they're still alive. So I gotta get out of here. Eli, you joined late, buddy. You joined late. I gotta run. How's your new job going, by the way, dude? You having fun? But yeah, I do got to run. Good market rally, guys. Like I said, there's a possibility of a follow through day today, but even if we get it, we don't necessarily have a huge, we don't have a lot of stocks really looking to lead us higher. So even if we get a follow through day today, I'm not sure. We're not going to probably get a huge rally. We'll probably get some sideways market, but the China FUD is still with us, obviously. So working all the time. I hear you, buddy. Yeah, hope you're having fun and learning what you want to learn. So. All right, guys, well, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.